So last time we had talked about there had been some issues that you had some stress over, um, specifically something going on with your basketball playing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in my fourth year um, at Duke, and I just got I just got a lot going on. I'm trying to finish my degree and everything, and just stay up to date with basketball.
So what's really stressing you out about playing basketball, at least at the collegiate level?
I mean, it's a lot of pressure because I mean, I just got a I just got a job offer overseas to play in China, and another offer from Moscow, and so I mean, they want me to come over immediately to start with tryouts and practices and whatnot. But I still have all these obligations I need to finish here and finish my schooling.
So what specifically is stressing you out about at least the college uh, basketball playing right now?
Just I mean, practices are long. I still have a lot of coursework, so I already have like hardly any time to myself. And then try and balance girlfriend and family and
Now, on one of the things that we were talking about last time with the college ball, do you start? Do you come off the bench? Or how much playing time do you usually get?
well, yeah, I start. And I mean, up until recently, I'd been getting a lot of playing time, but I guess I don't know. To me, it seems like coach knows I'm finna leave, so he tries to give some of the other guys playing time.
And they're not as good as you.
Exactly. No, I mean, no. To me, nowhere near.
So that kind of stresses you out. So how do you handle that stress? Like, what's your ways? Because obviously it makes you upset.
And I mean, I play basketball kind of to relieve stress. So I mean, that's usually my stress reliever. So I might go to the gym late at night and put up some shots or get a little practice in.
But how do you handle it when it's actual? Um, so you those are ways you handle it. But what are ways that you handle it when it actually happens to you? When the coach doesn't call your number, and the coach doesn't give you playing time, or like he subs you out, and then he's like, okay, let me get another player in there. How do you handle that?
I mean, at first I used to get pretty aggravated and kind of throw small tantrums. I mean, sometimes I wouldn't want to come out of the game or I'd go to the locker room. But lately I've kind of just let it go, knowing that I'm finna leave anyways. So I mean, he's the coach, and I mean it's his decision. So I kind of respect his decision, even though I don't agree with it all the time.
So you've kind of tried to find some coping mechanisms, like maybe just take a deep breath, maybe meditate, or maybe just some people say count to 10. Maybe in your case, maybe count to 100.
Yeah.
But or you try to channel that aggression to something else.
Yeah, I mean, it just gets me more focused on my coursework and other things I have going on in life because I'm short on time. So if my time's cut short in one area, I need to put a little more time in all the others.
So what is the goal? Like, if it doesn't work out with overseas, you just keep dealing with however the coach's substitution pattern will be.
I mean, I almost have to because I mean, all my schooling is paid for. So basketball for me, I mean, college ends, but I mean, of course, I'd like to play pro. But if I don't play pro, then I have my degree to fall back on and maybe start my own business or something in that area.
Well, that's good. I mean, I think you find other outlets to be able to channel that stress out, whether it's working out, maybe going to um, certain places to work on your game. And has it you ever thought about like maybe talking to the coach about it? Maybe you thinking maybe that might be an area or something like that.
I don't know, coach didn't really want to listen. He's kind of my way or the highway type of guy.
One of those old school kind of coaches.
Yeah, so.
Another thing that we had talked about, we had discussed last time was your family's finances. I know that you were talking about how your parents are kind of struggling. They make it, but it's kind of barely, and you kind of want to always, you do little side jobs to help them out.
Yeah.
So how's that going, and what is something that you could do to help you not be as stressed out about your family's finances?
I mean, it's cutting into my times. My first 2 years of school, I went to a junior college, and they paid for it like in full. So I mean, they've been working all their lives and saving up for me to go to school, and so they paid my first 2 years, and then I was lucky enough to get a scholarship. But then my dad lost his job just from being sick, and so I kind of had to try and help out the best I could, even though I really didn't have time for a job. I just get little odd and end jobs here and there, and two part-time jobs during the summertime.
So do you work right now while you're going to school too? Like even just like little side jobs, or do you have actual a job that you go to?
Yeah, I mean little side jobs. So I mean I'll mow yards. I'll sell candy. I mean any way I can.
Now, does that money go to all to your family, or do you keep a little bit of a portion of that, or?
I keep very minimal. I try and send the majority to them.
So, what is something that's going to be able to help your family during this time right now, as far as their finances?
I mean, in the long run, it'd be great if I could go overseas and play ball, because, I mean, financially, that'd help us both out a little bit. But for the meantime, I mean, I really don't have too much time for any other options.
So, what do you think would be one of the ways to help with the stress? Maybe a small loan. Is there other family that can help out besides you that can help them?
Well, it's mainly just us, so, I mean, maybe a small loan, but I'd have to make sure that, I mean, either I or they were in the position to pay back the loan, because, I mean, we don't really want to take out a loan we can't afford to pay back.
But maybe just a loan just to kind of help offset some of the expenses, maybe get caught up on some past due bills. But like you said, you need to be able to find someone who's going to be able to help with that.
Yeah.
Is there any other alternatives? Like, I mean, you can't really sell yourself short as far as, too many jobs. So, I mean, you've got to make sure that you don't do too many jobs too,
Well, I got about five more months until I graduate. And so I'm trying to kind of make it stretch until the end, so that I mean, either I'd move into a career that would make a little bit more money, or I'd go overseas and play ball. I'm trying to kind of stretch until the end so that I have more options and kind of know how I'll be able to help. But at the time, I'm pretty much just trying to draw it out.
Just trying
until I
to.
graduate.
So if you can just kind of make it for the next couple of months, although they may struggle, then you'll be able to help them more, by being able to get another job.
Yeah, much more.
The other thing that you had talked about was you had something about that really stressed you out, which was really an issue that I'd like to talk about, was your girlfriend, and how sometimes that she can be controlling and a little crazy from time to time. So how is that going, and how have you been handling that stress?
Oh, man, that's a completely different ball game. I'm not handling it too well. I mean,
What are the issues of what stresses you out about her or the relationship?
She always has to know where I'm at or who I'm with. Like, she doesn't trust me. I mean, I really can't go and hang out with my friends without her blowing up my phone and asking me where I'm at, what time I'm coming back, what I'm doing.
Now, has she, in her defense, which I'm not taking her side, but have you given her a reason to where she can't trust you?
No.
I mean, have you talked to other girls? Have you lied to her? Have you done stuff to where she makes her feel that way, or is she just maybe an insecure person?
Never. I mean, I've never made her feel like she couldn't trust me, but sometimes it feels like she demands all of my time when, I mean, I have so much going on and so many other things going on. I have to try and divide it evenly as best I can.
So it's her insecurities that lead to the stress.
Yeah, I mean, she's real insecure. She said she's insecure, but I mean, she really doesn't know how to fix it.
But did you know about insecurity before you got into that relationship?
I didn't, but I mean, as time's gone on, I've progressively learned. And I mean, she has her ups and downs. Sometimes she's too much. Sometimes she's okay. But it's kind of like a hit or miss kind of thing. I mean, you never know what you're gonna get.
Now, so her ways that you handle, not if she's just controlling, how do you handle like arguments and disagreements, like stress wise? Like, what do you do?
I mean, a lot of the times I'll just tell her she's right and let her be right, just for the sake of saving the argument. But I mean, it's just become far too much for me to handle. So sometimes I'll go and hang out with my buddies just because I just can't be around her because she stresses me out so much.
So, in a way, you don't really handle the stress. You just kind of put it away. You just put it off, like kind of like a cut, you just put a little band-aid on it. You don't really fix the problem. You just kind of get away from it and just deal with it later or when it comes up, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how to deal with it because sometimes she just gets too crazy.
So, is there ways that you can like possibly like tell her, or like maybe yourself? Because I know sometimes you might get like angry and stuff, like to process things, kind of hear each other out. Maybe breathing exercises where she can really, or just where she can just meditate, or she can just really kind of sit back and kind of observe the whole issue and the whole problem. Is there ways that you could go about as far as handling it like that?
I mean, I could mention it to her and see how she takes it, but I mean, she kind of does what she wants to do.
But see, the stress that she has affects you. So in a sense, maybe not just techniques for yourself, but maybe techniques for her to help her deal with the stress so it doesn't stress you out. So it's like a cause and effect type of thing.
Okay.
So if she gets help and if she gets things that can help her, in a sense it helps you too. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Now, will there be something to where, have you told her something like, hey, calm down, it's going to be okay, and don't overreact? I mean, are those, is
Yeah,
those like
I've tried to gently, bring that message across, but it's like, it feels like I'm telling her what to do, and she just freaks out even more.
Now, when you say controlling, does that mean controlling like you can't tell her what to do, or she's just trying to control your aspect, or is it everything?
I mean, it's everything, like where I go, what I eat, what I do with my time. She even tries work, bank accounts. It seems like every aspect of my life.
Or she's asking you, why'd you spend this amount of money on this?
Or why'd you spend this much time over here? Or where have you been for the? Sometimes it'll come down to like 15 minutes that's unaccounted for, and she thinks I'm out with somebody.
So sometimes it's stuff that's okay, reasonable curiosity, but at the same time, sometimes it's almost to the point to where it's like it's overboard.
Yeah.
Like it's a little too
Big
much.
time. A lot.
I recommend you maybe, so you don't make the situation anymore. Probably recommend something like, just keep doing what you're doing as far as working out, maybe being able to channel that, and maybe possibly talking to her about, maybe about her issues of being controlling and being a little borderline crazy. I think maybe talking to her a little bit and see if that will help out with some reasoning. You had mentioned earlier about your college basketball thing, and you had mentioned that another thing that was stressing you out was that the possible job thing, being able to go play pro ball overseas. How's that stress affecting you and your decision?
It's a big decision to go overseas and try and play pro, but it's hard when it's kind of like tug of war. So I want to be able to go and play good and make money to help my family, but at the same time, my girlfriend doesn't want me to go, and
you have a son.
Yeah, and we have a son, so she's already told me that she's not going. So I have to decide whether I want to stay here with her.
So how long would it be? Would it be for 6 months, 9 months, or how long? How does it usually work out when you play?
They told me contracts for 2 years minimum. So 9 times out of 10, I'd be gone for 2 years and probably come back on holidays.
But you stay there. You don't like 6 months and then you're there for the season. You come back and then go back again. It's like you're there the whole time.
Probably about 11 months, and during the summertime they'll give me 1 month to come back home, and then I go right back.
So how's that a major stress in your life right now? Because obviously you're almost done with school, so we've got to make a decision here pretty quick.
Getting down to grind time. It's just hard to make a decision when you're not really backed by everybody. You're trying to decide whether to stay. I'm trying to decide whether to stay with my girlfriend and my son, or to go and better my life and help my family. And it should be something where everybody supports me, but that's just not how it is.
And also, you're so close to finishing your degree, you're only 5 months away, and if you do that, it's not saying that once you leave college, it's harder to get back the older you get and the further away you get from it. That becomes a little bit more stress, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they want me to come out immediately to start with training camp, but I've already made up in my mind that I want to finish my degree.
Can they wait?
We're in negotiations right now, but I think they could wait because the season doesn't start until 2 months after I graduate. So I feel like I can get up to speed and be in shape by then.
So what is the ways you're going to try to handle that stress right here we have with that? What do you think you're going to do?
I'm gonna try and stay focused with school, just so I can finish on time. And just keep plugging away. I mean, I'm real close. So, I mean, as soon as I finish, then I'll have a decision made to whether I'm going to go or stay.
Okay. Well, I look forward to next time and seeing how well we can help you with those stress-related issues. Thanks.
Oh, thank you.